All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off Axis podcast. I'm here with Alanna Baker and Phil Belanger. Got that right?
Yeah.
So you guys are circus acrobats and artists. I know that you guys performed in Volta, correct, Phil?
Yeah.
And did you perform in one of the shows also?
Yeah, I was in Ovo.
Ovo.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We just had Dominic on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was on the last podcast.
Okay, super cool.
Yeah, what did you do in Ovo?
I was an acrobatic character and aerial hoop.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Aerial hoop. Is that Lyra?
Exactly.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you do unicycle act, correct, Phil?
Yeah, hand-to-hand on a unicycle.
That is crazy. So what is like your guys' background? We'll start with you. What did you like? How did you get into circus in the first place?
So I was a gymnast from the age of 5. I started training sports acrobatics. And when I was 8, I saw my first Cirque du Soleil show. And that's when I said to my parents, that's what I want to do when I'm older.
Oh, really?
And then I competed for my country, for Great Britain. I came European champion and 3rd in the world. And then after I finished competing, 6 months later, I ran away with the circus.
Oh, wow.
And I was with them for 7 years until now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Dang. So yeah, the circus life is like when you say I'm running away with the circus, it's like the
Quite
epitome
literally.
of exactly what you say it is.
Yeah.
People are so like, oh, I've always wanted to do that and stuff. And when we performed in like traveling circuses, the crowd always wants to come up to your like trailer and like look in like, what do the circus acrobats do? And how did you get into it originally?
So I studied circus in Quebec City, and my background is more street performance. So when I was 13 years old, I did my first street show. So that was kind of like my background where I learned how to be on stage and stuff. My dad pretends to be the first one in Quebec City to own a unicycle, so I was kind of like inspired by that. So I asked my parents to buy me a unicycle, and then when I joined the circus school afterwards and learned the rest of my skills.
Oh, that's crazy. So what did you do before the unicycle stuff? Did you do like sports growing up, or?
No, really just...
You were kind of born in a circus, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
For sure. So how did you guys meet? Were you performing in a show? Because you guys are engaged, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Through
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Friends of friends like introduced us to each other. We first started speaking through Instagram.
Yeah. Can you pull the mic a little closer to you again?
Yeah, of course. Is that better?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so we first started speaking through Instagram, and then we were trying to make our schedules line up, which is not easy when you're both on tour.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
And then we were both going to be in Vegas at the same time, and we met for the first time.
So do you guys reside here now? Have you lived here for a while, or is it new?
Yeah, we bought our house in January, so that was fairly new. And then we just moved in right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh,
when
perfect.
everything shut down. We were like, well, let's go home.
Yeah.
And furnish the house.
That's like perfect timing. That's like as good as it gets. Like,
yeah, it was. We wanted to take our time, and which kind of like happened to be a bad decision because then everything closed. So we didn't have anything. So that was like, oh, yeah, we don't have a table and a couch. And well, good things. So that was like a little bit challenging, but it was kind of good to have a lot of space and just to be able to like slowly get things together and build things, and made it home.
Yeah, I'm sure you had plenty of time because we moved in here right before the pandemic hit too, and it was like, oh, thank God we at least got into a new place, and like we kind of have unlimited training space and that kind of stuff, and it was like a cool like environment compared to our old place. But it was like pretty much perfect timing. So do you have any other skills you've performed on stage other than unicycle? Can you do like hand regular, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so these are the two acts that we normally that we've perform a lot. Unicycle is more rare, so
yeah, for sure.
It kind of became our thing more than hand to hand. And we just it's just the feeling of like doing something more unique and people that haven't really seen before, so it's kind of something that we want to focus a little bit more on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And how long have you been with Cirque, or how long did you do the show for?
So Volta was my third production.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Markley, with my partner.
Oh, okay.
So we did Cusa for 3 years, and then Paramore in New York.
Oh, nice.
And then Volta. So it's been 7 years.
So was Paramore, was that a station show in one spot, or did it travel around?
Yeah, it was fixed in New York as a Broadway show.
Nice. Would you prefer to do a touring show, or would you prefer to do a stationary show?
I love touring, honestly. Like when I was in New York, I was like, I'm never leaving here. It's so awesome. Yeah. And I really fell in love with New York. So it was nice to have an apartment and
for sure.
have a routine and get into it for sure. Like having a routine is something that is really nice.
Yeah, when you have like your own gym you can go to and you like have a set schedule, it's nice.
But also touring is just, there's always something new. There's always a new place to visit. You get into a routine for like a month or two, and it's like, all right, let's move on and let's discover a new city. And then it's like, okay, so I really like both. It's hard to say which, I can't really decide, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love my job, and I love how, the environment that is around it, for sure.
I think a month is like the sweet spot for a tour, like to stay in one area. Because I did a tour before, and it was every week we're in a different city. And unfortunately, we also had to do the setup and tear down for the circus. So it was just too hectic. I don't know if I would want to do it again, but if we had a month in every spot, I think that would be more appropriate. So that way you can kind of settle in and like not be so hectic of move your like beds and stuff all the time.
Yeah, on OVO, we were just doing a week every city.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot. Like, after the show on a Sunday, you jump on a bus and do a 6-hour drive to the next city. And you don't feel like you get to explore the city necessarily, because each week feels like the same week. I remember the week by which hotel I was staying in.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes a bit like, okay, so I prefer to stay in one place a little bit longer.
Yeah. So OVO, that's not a tent, right? That's a stadium show?
Exactly, arena. So it started out as a big top. I was on Big Top and did Australia and Japan with them. And then it switched to an arena show.
Ooh, how was Japan?
Super cool.
I've always wanted to go there, but I haven't been there yet.
It's one of those places where I didn't necessarily want to go. Like, I wasn't like, I really need to go to Japan. But once I'd been, I really want to go back. Yeah. It's such an incredible place. The people are so friendly. It's so clean.
Yeah. And Australia is really nice too. That was probably my favorite place that I've been to. It's kind of like California, but like a little bit more chill. Like, people don't have that competitive mindset of like, I want to tear everyone down to get to the top. And they're not so focused on like their social media numbers and stuff. Yeah. They're more like laid back. And I believe they have a system in Australia to where everyone gets paid a little bit more by their age. So if you're 41, you're making more than someone who's 40 years old.
Okay. That's cool.
And I think that's interesting. It's a very good way of like keeping everyone from like being jealous of each other and that kind of stuff. So everyone's kind of in the same boat. Mm-hmm. But so where have you guys traveled to in Volta?
Volta just did an American tour.
Just America?
North America, yeah. We started in Montreal, and then we did a little bit of Canada. And then, came straight in the U.S. We were going to finish that till the end of the year and then move to Europe. So that was kind of like the tour plan for now.
So have you guys had any update at all on if it's going to happen or not?
No. I'm kind of like, I liked to have like the time off and to be able to focus on our businesses and spend time as well with Alanna, and to like focus on the relationship and just, we're in a house, we're living it together, and we're just building this, awesome life. And focus on different goals that I've always been entrepreneur and like focusing on my goals, but being full-time working for a company, you just don't end up investing your full, mindset.
I know what you mean.
So it's like, okay, now being forced to and not having necessarily the opportunities to go on stage or to like, there are no stage at the moment. There's no, or barely, so it's like, let's just focus 100% into this and to grow our make things happen.
I'm in the exact same boat too, because I had like an 8-month tour scheduled for my own show, and then it all disappeared within 48 hours. Like, every single client was like, hey, we have to postpone or it's done for sure. And it like really made me focus like, I should really focus on like my YouTube channel and my footwear company, because at least shoes aren't going anywhere. Like, you can always sell shoes.
Everyone's wearing shoes.
I know, right? Seems like a pretty safe market to be in. So your company, what is it called again?
Design Kontrol.
Design Kontrol. So did you start that yourself?
Yeah, me and my hand-to-hand partner, we started that about almost 6 years ago now.
Oh, wow, that's a while.
Yeah, so it's been just, hustling and creating products and learning how to create products, and it's just, it's been a great journey, honestly. And it just, finding new suppliers and where to make them and how to, it's a lot. And we've invested so much time and money into this. Yeah. So now it's like, well, we have a huge inventory, and we were just like, we have, all this that is there. Why not, grow this? And so we've come up with a lot of new products in the last couple months now, and it's super fun to be, focusing on this. And
what did you guys start with? Like, what product?
Our first product was actually male underwear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was our first product, which was kind of like now that I think about it, was a bit of a mistake. At first, I was like, there's not really like an underwear that I like, so I focused on this, and then everyone was like, oh, I really like your underwear line, and I was like, oh no, I want a sportswear line. Yeah. And then I was like, I didn't think of that. Okay, well, so we had all these other projects, like other products that were on the table. That was like, okay, let's make them all happen, right now, because I don't want to focus too much on like going one direction and then having to fight to like go back to. Yeah. So it was like, it was like kind of a big realization of, the first little mistake that we did, it was for sure. But in the same time, it was such a perfect product, and it's still one of our best products that we've created. So it was like, it's not really a mistake. Yeah. Because there was something that was needed in the, definitely in the market, but I was just, I just didn't think of the repercussion of what you're coming up with and how the image you're portraying. Portraying, exactly.
Yeah, business is a crazy thing. I almost think of it as a sport now that I don't do like competitive athletics anymore. I'm like fully focused on like business now, and it's so crazy. It's almost like you have to learn a new trick or something. And like for a business, it's actually like, oh, how do I get stuff from China, or like how do I work this legality stuff out? So it's like, it's very interesting, and it's like, I'm sure you'll take like the same like approach as if you were as an athlete or something moving forward, especially once you're done performing. At least you have something there. Because I've always told people like, hey, I know you work for Cirque du Soleil, but you're going to want to focus on something else. And like, if just something happened, like you got hurt or fired or coronavirus. Or, no one would ever saw that one coming, but it's always good to have something to fall back on. But how is business doing though?
Really good, actually. I'm very surprised with the whole, like when the pandemic hit, honestly, like for 2 weeks, there was like barely any sales. And I was like, whoa, what is going on? Yeah. So I was like, this is what I want to focus on now. And like the shows kind of like stopped before it was really bad. Yeah. And then the following week, that's where like everything was like, whoa. Yep. Super bad. And then 3 weeks later, we were like hitting like really like amazing numbers. And I was just like, okay, people are just shopping online. And we have a huge ambassador program. With over 500 ambassadors around the world, and everyone's just promoting the brand. And because people have time, we've kind of like changed the rules of it, and we're allowing our ambassadors to make more profit with the discount codes that they generate, the sales they generate. Yeah. So now people are just focusing on trying to make a little bit of money with that, and just they have the time to make the photos and the videos. And so it's been really nice to work with these ambassadors and to grow this ambassador program, and just to get out there and to offer an opportunity for people to be part of it and collaborate with us. So
that's a great business plan too, especially like because you get so much content. And I looked at your page, and it just looks so amazing, like all the content that you guys have, like all high quality stuff. It looks really good, and I'm sure the ambassadors are stoked. I'm sure you give them like product and stuff as well, right?
We don't necessarily like give products. That's kind of like our thing, because we focus on having the circus artists as our ambassadors, but also we can't give the products to them because there's just everyone asking for products. So we kind of made that rule. Yeah. So we kind of like said, okay, no, we don't give any products, but we kind of give access to discount on all the catalogs. So, because it's kind of like you can't really be an ambassador for Lululemon. You're like, oh, I like their clothes, but I can't be an ambassador. Well, if you're a circus artist, you can be a Design Kontrol ambassador. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like our business plan, where you're a circus artist, you can have access to all these products at 35% off. So everyone has 35% off, and everyone's making 15% on their 15% discount
It's a good way to make money.
So it's kind of like, we don't necessarily make money on the ambassadors, but they do have to order to be able to make money then.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for us to be able to give the opportunity to them, and to give a quality sportswear brand to the community,
Yeah.
and to just reach out to their followers and to their fan base. So that's our business plan.
That's great. I don't know of any other like circus brands that do the same kind of stuff as you. Do you know of any?
No, I think we're definitely the biggest.
Yeah, for sure.
In the community of circus artists, and there are other brands that are really respected into the community, like Lululemon. I know everyone that does acrobatic or yoga, and it's kind of like, wow, this is the quality and the pricey, but it's just, they have an amazing branding that they work through. And I just want to follow that kind of quality branding, where people they rely on quality clothing for training. So that's kind of
that's a good approach though.
Yeah,
and especially if you can like keep it like a niche thing into like circus performers. It's like people want to support circus brands rather than go out and support like Hollister or some like other random brand.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good way to go. I thought people would want to do that for shoes, but it's so hard to produce like really high quality shoes and like compare them to like Asics and stuff. And I think our biggest mistake when we first started was only making one color, because once you buy shoes, you don't want to buy the same shoes again.
Yeah.
Like maybe you do, but you have to really, really like them. So that's one of the biggest mistakes that we learned. Plus, like I started clothing line back in the day, and then I realized, I actually don't like doing clothing at all. Like I dress pretty lame, so like I'm not into that kind of stuff at all. But I mean, shoes is a pretty good one for me. What do you think is like the future of your business? Do you think you're gonna expand into other industries, or do you want to stay in the circus?
Something that we've started doing is, so we have kind of on our store is, so instead of being just a brand, is more of a store where we open it to a marketplace where they can have their product on there, and we can drop ship for people. So we're partnering with other people that have a platform where they don't necessarily want to have like an inventory of clothing that they want to ship out to clients, but we do this for them. So we use our catalog of products, and we transform their merchandising for them with our products. So it's kind of, so we have this whole marketplace where we have clothing, but also just products that are
other products.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a great idea.
Like liquid chalks and handstand. Stew straps. The aerial fit buddies straps are on there. We have like some
Accupine balls.
Yeah.
Accupine mat.
Yeah. So it's so we're growing this, and we want to just offer the opportunity to ambassadors or to partners to be able to collaborate with us and have products on there and make money with this as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it kind of becomes the marketplace for the circus community to be on there and to just generate more revenues with just ideas. So if they come up with a product, well, you don't necessarily have to market it. You can store it with us, and we will do the shipping, and you can generate sales throughout the whole website and make revenue with the website and your product. So there are different kind of bracket of percentage of revenues, but
for sure,
that's kind of like where we're going and how we're growing. Yeah. And definitely having a wider variety of product was something that was needed in our business plan. And I realized that, I do have a lot of ideas, and I do want to realize my ideas, but I also want to use all the work that I've put into this and offer it to other people to collaborate with us. And to be able to, just bring their ideas on the table and be able to monetize this and to be able to grow and to be part of this. And it's not just about Design Kontrol, it's about the whole community. So it's about the whole everyone that is in the community that can be part of this and that can relate to it. So it's their brand kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I am thinking about my brand, and I'm like, I'm actually kind of starting a community, and then we just happen to have a product. Yeah. Because it's more of like, it's not like I just have a footwear company. I have like a whole community, and people like,
that translates into like a product eventually. But yeah, I look at our website and I see all the people that come, and we have like 20,000 every month. And then that doesn't translate into sales at all because we only have one product. So I'm always thinking like, man, if only I had like a tramp wall or something, like some kind of other products on there on my website to actually like get more people to actually buy, because it just doesn't translate into sales.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the reality of, online sale. People, they need to come back and then keep looking, and then, finding different new products, and then, oh, I like this one. And then after 20 times, they'll be on your website.
Yeah.
Then they'll make the decision to purchasing. That's where the long term is, it's a long-term game. It's not like the first 3 years for me were terrible sales-wise. Like I was making no sales.
Really?
I mean, it's like, it's when you start, as everyone, they look at it. They're like, oh, that's cool.
That's what I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Because we're only in our second year of business, almost second year actually.
Yeah. So it's not that people, they don't like it. They just, they just look at it, and it's nice, and they'll come back on your website, and they'll come back.
Yeah.
And they'll come back, and then you'll have your fourth generation of shoes, which are going to be just as amazing, way more amazing than your second and third, and and then they'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Yeah. And then they'll buy it.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, and I really like your product. I honestly, like, you contacted me about a year ago, and when you sent it to us, I was like, these shoes are amazing, and I've been wearing them in training all the time. And the way you're gonna, hustle and keep training, like keep creating new products. I'm so stoked to try the second one, honestly. Yeah. And the third one and the fourth one. I think, what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah. It's I never ever thought I would be making footwear in my entire life. I would have never thought that. But then, like, I came from action sports, and then once I started doing tramp wall a few years ago, I saw that, oh, everyone's wearing wrestling shoes? What
is that? Yeah.
Why is no one making like acrobatic shoes for people? Because it's like, I personally don't think wrestling shoes are good for like trampoline wall because there's no grip on the bottom. Mm-hmm. Like, you think that they're grippy, but when you actually like look at them, they kind of slide right off the wall, because wrestling shoes are made for like soft mats to stick onto that stuff. So I just basically made wrestling shoes slightly wider so people don't roll their ankles, slightly thicker sole, and that's our product. Yeah, it's just marketing them as acrobatics, and I feel like it kind of started a community. I felt like I was like, no one's doing anything with trample. We got to like form this into like a community and like start doing events and that kind of stuff. And then once we started doing events, like other people are doing events now too. So I don't know. There is no like circus industry if no one's like actually creating products and that kind of stuff. So it is good that like people like us are actually doing products, and I think eventually other people will start forming like, I don't know, like other kinds of businesses as well.
Yeah, definitely. The community is there. It's just a matter to connecting it. It's just getting out there and creating, the content and creating the products and listening to the people that are actually there to wear it. Yeah. And it's just, and I feel like your business model with the whole like trample wall shows that is on your website as well, I feel like it's just a perfect, like the kind of pop-up store where you do events. Yeah, I think it's perfect. Yeah, you must sell a lot of shoes when you do events like that, no? Or
yeah, I actually always offer a lower price to the clients if they allow us to put our big fat logo on the wall and sell the shoes there as well. Oh, and it like works out for both of us. I mean, we usually don't sell that many shoes, but it's just like marketing and like a long-term thing. Yeah, I think. So what do you do on the side? I don't want to only talk to Phil.
No, that's okay. I mean, I help them with Design Kontrol as well. I'm with him the whole time, so
okay, continue.
And then we've also started like another small company of printing, like heat press transfer, customized and creative printing. So
oh, cool. I have a heat transfer like right over here somewhere.
Okay, nice. So we do it to help control as well, and to help other small businesses with clothing labels. And because when you start a business, a small business, it's the minimum is so high. Yeah, so we don't have a minimum, so it's a good way to
it's good, like extra side hustle. Yeah. And like I ran into that problem. I was like, man, I got to order 30 shirts to start off. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go learn how to print my own shirts.
Exactly. So yeah, I do that, and I've just finished studying nutrition, and I'm about to start personal training.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I was a personal trainer for years.
Okay, nice.
Like, are you going to work for a gym, or do you
Yeah.
think you're going to do it on your, like,
To
at your own
start with,
place?
for EOS Fitness.
Oh, that's where I work out.
Okay, nice.
Which one do you guys go to?
Durango 215.
Oh, okay. I go to the one that's on Eastern, the other side.
Okay, there's about to be a new one opening.
Yep, I'm
Which
going to
is
go to
so
that
close.
one. Yeah, for sure. That one's going to
Yeah.
be nice. It's, like, right down the street.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll start there. And I was the strength and conditioning coach on OVO.
Nice.
So, and then eventually, it would be nice to do like personal training, not in a gym.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
1-to-1. Like, I want a gym in our garage.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, nowadays it'd be great to have a gym in your garage because
Yeah.
who knows if they're still going to be open soon. But did you notice the price of like home workout equipment like skyrocketed over the last 3 months?
Oh yeah.
My friend
Because-
Brandon told me, he was like, yeah, I'm making all this money off of flipping weights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? You just buy old weights and paint them and then you resell them for like 4 times as much because everyone like,
wants them right now.
yeah, when the gyms were closed,
my
everyone's
God.
like, how do I work out? And I was even like, damn, I wish I had more weights at home because like I have nothing to like
Yeah.
lift or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so personal training's a really good, like, I think it's the most rewarding job that
Mhm.
I've ever done. I only did it for a few years, but I had my license for like 8.
Okay, nice.
But it's like you see someone come in and they can like barely walk, and by the time like you're like on like week 5, they're able to like, hey, I was able to
Yeah.
like play with my kids the other day, and that's
Uh-huh.
like the most rewarding thing, I
yeah,
think.
for sure. Just seeing their transformation and, a change in mindset, and
Yeah.
it's cool. It was nice to do it. I was strength and conditioning coach on OVO for a year and a half, 2 years.
Nice.
So it was nice to work with. And, everyone comes with a different problem, or each artist to its own. Like, every person has their own
Yeah,
strengths and weaknesses. So it's a good challenge as well.
definitely. So I also want to talk to you guys about nutrition because you guys both have like perfect 6-packs year round. I'm like, how the hell do they always have perfect 6-packs? So tell me, what's the secret?
She's the secret, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty I also compete in bikini fitness.
Oh, nice.
So at the moment, I'm not competing because I was trying to save some money for our wedding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm pretty into my nutrition and staying on track, and I like to look good.
Yeah.
I love to work out,
Mm-hmm.
so I kick his ass.
What kind of diet do you use?
If it fits your macros. When I'm competing, I'm very, very strict. Like, I weigh it to the gram,
Ooh,
and we'll eat like the same every day.
She weighs everything every day,
that's crazy.
down to like in the morning it's 120 grams of egg white. Not 121, 120. It's like.
But also because I have a coach who
Yeah.
coaches me, and I'm like, if I'm gonna pay him, there's no point lying to him.
Oh, for
And
sure.
my
Gotta get
measurements
your
have
money's
changed,
worth.
and he's like, why? And I'm like, oh, because I'm not doing what you're telling me, so I'm doing what I'm paying for.
That's some serious motivation, though.
Yeah.
So, do you normally eat like 6 meals a day, or do you like intermittent fast?
For me, I normally eat like 5 to 6 meals a day. I'm hungry a lot of the time. I eat smaller meals, but more often. For me, that works better.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over your daily schedule. You wake up, do you eat first, or do you go work out first?
We'll go for like a morning walk,
Okay.
just to get out a bit, and then we'll come home, have breakfast, and then we'll go to the gym, and then we'll come home and work
Yeah.
until like 11 p.m.
Nice. And then you guys go to the gym again?
No, just once a day.
Once a day?
Yeah.
Do you guys do
And-
heavy lifting?
Yeah, I do weights, and then every other day maybe I'll do like 10 minutes of cardio.
Nice.
I try and keep my cardio to a minimum, but enough to be able to, if I go back to work to do an act, it's good to be able to have the stamina there.
Yeah. Do you ever find that if you lift too much weights, you start to lose some of your skill, or you become a little bit slower towards your act?
For me, the stronger I am, the better I am for aerial.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And however, the heavier I am, the harder
Mhm.
it is. So there's like finding that middle ground.
Yeah.
And also I have to go careful because the stronger I get, the tighter my muscles get, so the less
For
flexible
sure.
I feel.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
gotta
like,
stretch a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, stretching is so big. And I'm sure for you, it doesn't really matter that much because you're more of like basically doing strength and conditioning as you're performing, right?
Yeah,
And
flexibility
balancing.
has never really been so important for me, but
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of like telling this to myself just so I don't have to stretch, but I should stretch more.
I don't stretch at all.
Yeah, it's crazy how like, yeah, I need to take care of a little bit of that. Sometimes I'm like, why is my lower back hurting so much? Oh, yeah, I want to stretch a little bit. I guess
It's been a month.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
It's been a year. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Probably like 4 years ago, I was also training for like a physique competition.
Okay,
And I
nice.
put on I stopped going to skate parks and put on all this muscle. And then I randomly got booked for a show, and like immediately I was like, I'm so slow, and like totally everything's off, and like nothing worked right anymore. And I was like, ooh, I got to kind of choose one or the other. I can't do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're like, for me, I have to be very precise. Otherwise, you hit your face on the ground or something. So
yeah,
I
it's
was
the
like,
same. I say with my coach, I'm like, I can have a building season, but I still want to stay in relatively good shape because I'm on stage the whole time. I need to be able to do my job. That's the priority.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
What was the competition you were doing?
I'm not really sure. It was in Los Angeles because I used to work for Gold's Gym, so a lot of my clients would be people that were doing physique competitions. I can't remember the name of it. It was sometime in June in like 2015 or so.
Okay.
And you worked in Gold's Gym in LA?
Yeah, I worked
In
for
the
Gold's
Mecca?
Gym LA. No, not the Mecca. I was going to work for them,
Okay.
but then I kind of saw, I was applying to be their fitness manager.
Okay.
And like when you're the fitness manager, your objective is to sell as much as you possibly can to your personal trainers. But the problem with the Mecca is they have so many famous personal trainers there. It's like, how am I going to sell like Joe Schmo over like this guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger's trainer? Like people go to the Mecca to train with like super famous like bodybuilders. And then I was like, doesn't really seem like a very like good plan. And there's a reason why they kept going through fitness managers, because they were probably like, I can't sell these guys over like the famous athletes you have.
Yeah.
But
I heard they filed for bankruptcy, I think.
They did.
Because of pandemic, yeah.
Oh, I bet. That's so crazy. And I don't think that gym was like super profitable, because so many, like whenever you would go in there, there'd be so many famous people, and those famous people aren't paying for their membership. It's almost like you go to that gym just for the environment, and like there's so many famous people all over the place.
I like training there, but because of the feel of it, like it's you're like, okay, I need to train. Like I want to train hard. There's it's a good vibe.
It is
but
a good
it's
vibe.
Expensive.
It is super expensive.
Yeah,
we went there. It was like $40 for the daily pass. But as well, it's kind of like when you think about the brand of Gold's Gym, it just makes so much sense to have this location to you know, to be on the internet, and
it's just marketing for sure. I think
big time. Like even if it's just it goes in the expenses of the whole brand of Gold's Gym. Yeah, because they have a lot of products, like related products. You go in Walmart and you can find kettlebell that are Gold's Gym. Yeah, it's like that's crazy. They have
a lot of products. Yeah, it's a pretty diversified brand. When I worked for them, I actually worked for a franchise, which was like not connected to the Venice one. It was just Gold. It was called Gold's Gym LA, and they had like 4 or 5 gyms. And then they also used to own gyms out here, but EOS bought them out.
Ah, okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I was working for a big corporation. I didn't find it to be that fun working there, because personally I was selling training for $70 to $85 per session, and I was making $17.50 to $22. And I was like, man, like I kind of felt bad, because when it comes down to it and you're sitting across from someone who really wants to train, and then you just have to bust out these huge numbers, and then it's like, how much do you care about this person's wallet? Because you kind of feel like you're ripping them off, because it's not like they're paying for your time. They're paying for your time, and then they're also paying this 75% to the gym, which is weird because they already have a membership there.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I worked there for a couple years, and then eventually they brought in new management. They're like, hey, we're not making enough sales. It's hard. Like, I guess they weren't paying their rent because they were in a mall or something like that. So their strategy was hire a bunch of personal trainers, and then I was the guy stuck like training them. And one guy was like, can you teach me how to use the foam roller? I'm like, what? You didn't like learn this in their class? And like there's certain classes like NESKA, which is like the cheapest personal training program you could possibly do, and just it barely teaches you anything.
Wow.
Yeah, but like, did you take the NASM class?
Yes.
That one's so complex that you're like not going to use half that information, and the minute you pass your test, it like it's gone. You totally forget. Like I can't remember any of like the like very complex words.
It's very science based.
And I was like reading the book, and I was like, man, I got to look up all these words. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I eventually figured out, I was like, oh, you could just take the test over and over and over, and then you know what's on the test, and then as you're reading the book, you understand what's on it.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of cheating, but
I mean, if you get there one way or the other.
yeah. Yeah, so I don't want to hold you guys too long because I know it's already about 5:15. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely a fun
thanks
time.
for having us.
40 minutes flies by fast, huh?
Wow.
40, wow. That's
Yeah, we're
amazing.
almost at 40 minutes. But so where can they find you on Instagram, Alanna?
At Alanna Baker.
Alanna Baker?
Yeah. Pretty simple.
Yeah, sweet. Do you do TikTok as well? Are you
I
guys
do.
into that stuff?
He got me into it.
Hey.
He's obsessed with it.
Do you guys have a big following on TikTok?
Me, no. I started in pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
We were kind of like into it a lot at the beginning of the pandemic. We're like, hey, if there's one time to be famous on TikTok, it's right now.
Right
it's
now.
happening. One video a day. And then it was like, we kind of got busy with other, life and businesses.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
We honestly, the past 2 months, I think we like posted 3 times. So it's kind of like put that aside a little bit. But
Yeah, real quick. So did you focus on only Instagram or do you have a YouTube channel or any of that other stuff as well?
for me, I focused on Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my, yeah.
Did you post like some viral video or something? Like how did you grow such a huge following?
It was working with photographers.
Yeah, photographers.
Working with photographers, and then doing like cover magazines and stuff was kind of like where people were finding me, and then articles here and there in magazines were, I think, really was paying off, especially on the East Coast. 2 years ago, that was like a big, and then a lot of like other Instagram account were sharing the content, and it was just a matter of like creating good content.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Consistency,
Yeah.
good content.
And then people, they kind of liked, they really started like liking the content that I was coming up with and adding a little bit of humor into it. And
Yeah.
it was, at the beginning, I didn't really like it was too much about like photos and like the pretty boy kind of style of post. And I was like, it's not really me, but it's working really well, so I'll keep doing it. And then I was like, okay, I need to like really put my personality into this.
Yeah.
And adding more videos and like just funny videos, and this like having a diversity into these two kind of styles of content was really made it something I was comfortable with. And
Yeah, definitely. And you have
kept
like
growing
a long-term, like it's all quality content that's on your page. For me, like I hit 10,000 really fast. And then once I hit 10,000, I was like, hey, actually, I kind of want to learn trampoline. And then my Instagram went from like high quality action sports stuff to beginner trampoline. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So got a lot of unfollows. But thank you guys for coming on. And your page is
Phil Belanger.
Phil Belanger. Do you want to spell your last name?
Belan. For
Phil
Instagram,
Belanger.
it's Philbelan.
Okay, cool. And your page or your company is Design Kontrol
Yeah, control with a K.
with a K.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And
having us.
Thank you guys for listening. Comment if you listen to the whole thing, and we'll see you guys the next one. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace.